Welcome everyone to this month's Brown Bag Lunch, and welcome to the Museum of Danish America. My name is Adam Bierstead. I am the Albert Ravenholt Curator of Danish American Culture, and it is so good to see so many people. I see a lot of familiar faces, so welcome back to all of you, and I see a couple folks that I don't recognize, so if this is your first time, or if you just haven't been here in a while, welcome. If this is your first time attending one of these, our Brown Bag Lunch series occurs every single month from March to December. We have speakers of all varieties, authors, local business people, other museum professionals, sometimes our own staff. And this month, I am so delighted to welcome our interns for the summer. So Violet Loderstein, our Prairie Intern, is a sophomore at Iowa State, studying in University of Iowa. University of Iowa. My apologies for that. That's a big difference. I am not an Iowa native, but I do respect the difference. Let me correct that. So, sophomore at University of Iowa, studying environmental policy and planning. She's born and raised here in Harlan, Iowa, and plans on pursuing environmental law. Hannah Versch, our summer programming intern, is a junior at University of Iowa, studying art with a certificate in museum studies. She wants to pursue a career in art dealing with a dream of one day owning her own art studio. They're going to be talking to us this month about what they've been up to this summer. So, Hannah, Violet, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Adam.
Thank you, Adam.
Go ahead.
I just want to say thank you to everybody for coming here. We really appreciate the show out, and we're just really excited to talk to you guys about what we've been up to.
So, what have we been up to? Thanks, Henry.
Thanks, Henry.
Well, first, who are we?
I'm Violet Lodenstein.
I'm Hannah Versch, just to reintroduce ourselves and to show our real personalities on the screen. So we both arrived around May 19th. I arrived a little bit earlier, but Violet was just a few days behind. We have about 11 weeks here. We're in our 8th or 9th week?
Yeah.
Rounding down.
Yeah, we've got like 4 weeks left here.
Yes, it's been a really fun time so far. We both end in the week of August 8th, so we'll be here for a tiny bit more if you want to get to know us some more.
Yeah, stop by, please. So, how did we become so close and make such an awesome team? Because we do make an awesome team.
We're pretty cool.
Well, we actually live together. The museum provides us with a house, which is really nice, so I don't always have to commute 30 minutes from Harlan, and Hannah doesn't have to commute, 4 hours? Yeah. So it's a really nice setup, and honestly, Hannah's just like the greatest roommate. I don't know if you guys have ever had a college roommate story, but we both have a few, so it's really nice to just be with somebody that, understands, hygiene and is a good friend to hang out with.
I shower every day, just let everyone know. But yeah, no, I can say the exact same about her. Obviously anyone's nervous moving into a place you don't even know the person, and it has been a dream come true. I can tell that I have a best friend for life right here. It's been amazing. We watch TV until midnight every single night together, and we do everything together, so I'm very, very blessed.
Oh, I'm blessed.
So instead of doing bullet points like every other college slideshow that I've done, I decided let's do emojis, Gen Z, it could be fun. So I'm just gonna tell you a little bit of my background as we go through the emojis. So like we said earlier, we are from the University of Iowa. We both go there. We both love it. Go Hawks.
Go Hawks.
So, and like said before, I'm an art major. I love anything to do with art. Claude Monet is on the screen. I am super, super, super motivated by Claude Monet. I love his style of Impressionism. I'm also a museum studies certificate. I'm in school for that. I love it so far. I cannot complain. I love the complexity of a museum and how it works and how nonprofits work in general. Just some more fun facts about me. I was actually born in Seattle. My dad was in the Navy, and then we moved to the Midwest when I was about 5 years old. So I was there for a tiny bit, and I love the city. I definitely want to settle back into the city somewhere and somehow. I love music, any type of music. If you guys have any music recommendations, send them my way. I will listen. I love the ocean. I have the ocean tattooed on me. I just feel connected to it. It sounds stupid, but it's true. And my favorite food is sushi. Anything sushi, even in the Midwest. I'll eat the Midwest sushi at gas stations. I love it.
Chance taker.
And then last but not least, I love iced coffee. Anything with a lot of cream and sugar. Everyone makes fun of me at staff meetings because I use 3 cream and 3 sugar, and everyone's like drinking black coffee around me. But I love it. I also love to travel. The picture here is actually from New York City last summer. One of my best friends from college lives in New York City, and it was a blast. I want to travel there again. But yeah, that's just a little bit about me. I also have 3 brothers, so I'm the oldest of 3 brothers, if you can't tell, if I'm not giving alpha woman. Yeah, so that's me.
Okay, so I'm Violet again. I was born and raised in Harlan, Iowa, and I also go to Iowa. I'm a sophomore now. And I'm going for my bachelor's degree in environmental policy and planning, but I'm also getting a certificate in creative writing, which, as you know, Iowa's the place for that, place to be. So some things about me. I really enjoy reading and writing, just like the little cat up there. I'm really passionate about the earth and keeping everything clean. I think nature is so beautiful and it's so cool that we have it and we get to be a part of it. And that's really why I want to be an environmental lawyer, is because it's something that I think is worth protecting. When I'm not, on my little soapbox, I really love to go out for like anything like ramen or like pho, any kind of Asian food, or like soup is where I'm at. That's pretty yummy to me. In my free time, I really enjoy weightlifting, and I also enjoy a good iced coffee. Not as much sweetener as Hannah's, but it's, pretty close. And yeah.
So my title was kind of told earlier, but I'll just kind of run through it again. I'm the education and programming intern. So that encompasses a lot, and I'll talk more about that later. But basically, Anna is my boss. We work on a lot of summer camps, the Spark program, and again, I'll talk about what that is. But I kind of work with like all the sectors, which I really enjoy. And yeah, it's a pretty good time.
So I am the Ronald D and Mary L. Bro Prairie Intern. It's quite a title, but it's mine and I love it.
Yes.
I work with Tim Palmer in the back over there. He's a great boss. And there's about 3 main things that we usually do. So we manage invasive species, we log rain data, and we collect photo data of the prairie to just view the progress, see what's growing, see what needs work. And I also manage the flower beds and the pathways, which is not as glamorous as the other parts of the job, but good work is work.
So for these 2 pages we have coming up, instead of like going through every single one of the things we've done so far, these are just like some highlights that we kind of want to go more in depth about. So starting at the top, me doing yoga, this is very narcissistic, so I'm sorry, but I got to do a photo shoot with Amelia, our communications specialist. She's the one that's videotaping right now and going around taking pictures. And she was like dressed up in a cute yoga outfit, and I was like, okay, I can do this. So I did that, and then actually that weekend, I got to go and take pictures for Yoga in the Prairie, which if you don't know, we have Yoga in the Prairie every month during the summer, I think. And it's really, really fun time, really relaxing. The leader is amazing. I highly recommend going if you're interested in that. Little shameless plug there. And then below that picture is the board meeting picture. You can't see me, I got cut out, but I'm sitting against the wall over there. I promise you I was there. It was in Des Moines this year. It was a blast. I really wanted to go to get more networking opportunities. Obviously, I'm a rambler. I can talk a lot, so I love talking to new people, getting new connections, adding them on LinkedIn, all that. It was a really insightful experience. I guess I didn't really understand how the museum board really functioned until I went there, and I actually got to sit in on a committee meeting, and that was actually about the master plan of MODA. So what's the future going to look like, and listening to all the opinions was really fun. I kind of enjoyed it. The older woman picture is actually from the article that I was just put in or something. It's online, right? Yes, okay. This is one of the portraits from that. It's a set of two. It's a male and a female. There's really, really interesting history behind it that I wrote about in there. I highly recommend going to check that out. I'm not going to give anything away. Another shameless plug. Go check out my writing. And then the last picture at the bottom is from Viking camp. Now, I'm sure most of you guys heard about this. We had an amazing turnout for Viking camp this year. We actually had 16 kids. The cap was supposed to be 15. We let someone else in because we liked them. No favoritism at all. And there was actually people on the wait list. So that was amazing. The kids enjoyed the crap out of it. There's goblets on the table that they got to drink out of. I carved this Viking boat out of this watermelon that me and Anna found at Walmart. It was like the longest watermelon I've ever seen in my life. But it was really, really awesome. We served Danish meatballs, not Swedish meatballs. And then we gave them rye bread, and they got to go then do combat. And we did a whole bunch of fun crafts. There was this dragon jar craft that we did, and the kids were really loving that because you can be really creative with that. So I really enjoyed it, and the kids were really enjoyable. So that's my highlights.
Okay, so now I'm gonna go over some of my highlights that I've had so far. Off the bat, the first day that I learned how to mow, I did break the mower. So that was a really scary 5 minutes, but everything was okay. It's fine. I don't break things as much anymore, so hopefully progress. Another highlight was definitely working Tivoli Fest. That happened like one of the first weekend we were here. That happened the first week we were here. It was so cool. It was so fun. We got to learn a lot about like Danish culture and food and music, and we actually got to like do a little Danish dance, which was so cool. It was really fun and immersive, and it was a great time. And it was really a cool experience because I just got to feel like the community and get a feel for everybody and just understand how things work here. Another highlight of working here has been being able to take photographs of the prairie. I've never worked like a high-res professional camera before, and it's just so cool to be able to just go out there in my muck boots and just take photos of things I see, like butterflies or plants. Or in this photo, it's called white sagebrush is the plant I took a photo of, and it's just really cool. And then another highlight has been working downstairs with Amelia, our communications director, and getting to write an article for the Moda magazine. Another shameless plug. If you're not a member, please do. Please get it. It's going to be incredible. There's 2 intern articles in it, which you'll have a lot of fun reading. But working with Amelia and just learning how to write an article for a magazine has been so cool. And also designing signs for the prairie, which is going to be coming soon. You know, it'll be really cool.
So we are not done with our internship yet, so we're still actively working on a lot of things. Most of them are like small projects that are wrapping up or stuff that we were tasked with. For example, the prairie signs that Henry just gratefully assigned us with. I love you, Henry. So right now I'm actually working on my immigration trunk, which is going to be a traveling trunk that's going to go around schools, homeschool co-ops, or even like anyone that just wants to rent it out for children or just to learn about Danish immigration. And so I've just finished up my last draft with the lesson plans for that. There's artifacts inside that are actually you're able to touch because they're UER. So you can pick them up, feel them, and then with the artifacts, there are lesson plans that go with each artifact. So you get to learn more in depth about them, which is really cool. So I just got done today actually decoupaging the inside. There's vintage stamps and maps on there, which is really cool. The stamps are like from the 1950s, and they're just like really art deco and fun. I'm a nerd about that type of stuff. So that is in the works right now, and thankfully Tim is actually building me some inserts for that, so thank you, Tim. We're also having ceramics camp this weekend. This has been a work in progress, a huge learning curve if I'm going to be real honest with you. I'm obviously an art major, but I did not know how to run a kiln. I did not know anything about that type of stuff. It takes a lot of research, come to find out. Me and Anna have spent a few hours in the building researching. I have spent 8 hours staring at a kiln too, just to make sure it doesn't catch on fire, so that has been fun. But we have figured it out, and that will finally come to an end, and a good end. That's a good connotation there. Finally come to a good end this weekend. And actually, my art teacher was commissioned to come and teach the children how to throw pottery and how to put it in the kiln and all the proper directions. So it's a really full circle moment for me. I'm really excited. I love my art teacher. That's who got me into art in the first place. So I just love that. Also, like Violet mentioned, our Moda magazine article we're both consciously working on. So is most of the staff. Mine is like a day in the life of an intern. Do you want to plug yours right now?
I'm working on something, it's a little more of a serious piece, but it's on the concept of prairie terraces, so you'll read the article and you'll know.
Yeah. We're not going to give too much away, but I will say Violet's is amazing.
So is Hannah's. Hannah's is good.
Not as good as Violet's. Violet's has Emily Dickinson poems in it. It's amazing. I highly recommend being a member. Okay, and then last but not least, stickers for the front desk. This has been also an idea that we've kind of just thrown back and forth all summer long. And this is an example down at the bottom of the one that is mocked up, and we actually have some printed out. When you go to a lot of other museums, they have stickers that you put on your chest, and then when they leave, you know, it's free promo for the museum itself, free marketing almost. So for us, we were kind of trying to implement that. So I was tasked with coming up with a design. This is one of the designs that kind of everyone agreed with. There's more if you guys would like to see that. If you guys think this is a good idea, we would take feedback, any feedback you have. But yeah.
So things that I've been working on recently, like I mentioned earlier, there's a lot of invasive species out in the prairie, and for people who don't know what an invasive species is, it's basically something that's been imported and it's not supposed to be here, and it doesn't have any natural predators or anything, so it's kind of just taking over, which isn't exactly good because we want Iowa plants in Iowa. So we've been removing a lot of purple loosestrife, which it may look pretty, but it's the worst and we want it gone. So we've been working a lot with that, a lot of long days pulling that. A second thing that I've been up to is collecting seeds. Again, a lot of invasive species, but there's also a lot of good species as well. So we want to collect those good seeds, maybe use them for next year, and we also want to collect those bad seeds to make sure they don't go anywhere. Again, a third thing that I've been working on is the Moda magazine article. I talk about a concept called prairie terraces. I talk about sustainable farming and what that could look like, and basically just a future where agriculture works more hand in hand with sustainability instead of this almost like versus battle, because obviously that's not productive at all for anybody. And then another thing that I've been working on, which is so fun with Amelia, is filming TikToks or short media and long media, helping with like Instagram posts and things like that has been really fun and interesting, just because it's nice to try and reach a larger audience and practice using media in a professional way.
Yes, so we work pretty hard, but we also party harder. These are the behind the scenes of Moda. So the one of me at the bottom, this was actually during like work time, so I guess all of these are. But me at the bottom with the painting. This was our first Spark program. So Spark is mainly for the older generation, but anyone can really come. But yeah, so we had the first painting in the prairie, and it was amazing. Obviously, I love painting, but the Salem nursing home showed up, and the guys, they were a little bit stubborn about painting, but they did a little. And then the girls from the nursing home, of course, were loving it. Nancy Sand was loving it. And it was just a great time. It was beautiful out, and it's just fun to overlook the prairie during your work day. You're getting paid to paint. Like, yeah, that's my dream.
That second photo of me in the goggles Breaking Bad, no, I'm kidding. That was the first time I'd ever mixed chemicals before, and Tim is very much a stickler about wearing all the protective gear, which is important because you do not want blue dye all over you. I learned that the hard way. It's not good, it's not fun, your skin will be blue for days and everyone's gonna notice, so wear those gloves. Yeah.
And then the picture of me and Anna down there, I know you can barely recognize us, our disguises are so good down there. This was one of the first times we went to the library to communicate with Paulette, the librarian. So if you don't know, we actually have them come here and we've kind of collabed. So Storytime in the Prairie has been a big thing this year, and they read like the Laura Ingalls Wilder Little House on the Prairie short stories to the children. And with that, the activities we kind of host. So Friday, tomorrow actually, that's crazy, we're doing a sugar snow activity. So they're getting a whole bunch of ice or, really small shaved ice, and then they're gonna pour hot candy on it and make homemade candy. And so that's gonna be really, really fun. We have ginger snap cookies for them. And then while that's going, we'll have like a fake fireplace on with fiddle music. The kids are gonna love it. The last day, well, I'm gonna love it, I guess. I don't know fiddle. But yeah, so this picture is just like when we went and met with Paulette. For some reason, there was a photo op, and me and Anna could not pass up a photo op. Anna's supposed to be like this fairy butterfly. I don't really know what I was doing or going for, but that's the story behind that photo.
The photo of Tim and I on the computer screen, it actually was taken by Hannah. This was our first meeting ever. And it was still virtual at that point. We do those in person now. But Tim had told me that I was gonna have to speak for him and tell everybody what the update was. And so he took a photo of me just totally panicking. And I was trying to like stay cool, but I had no idea what to even say. I just went totally blank.
And we've lived and we've learned.
Yeah.
The photo of me up there that's totally ridiculous. That was the first time I ever went to the Bestimore house. This is when I was cleaning with David. I was cleaning the upstairs and he was downstairs, and I was cheekily looking through the hats upstairs. Now I know we're not supposed to touch artifacts, but I literally could not help it. This hat was so ridiculous I had to put it on my head. And so that's the weird story behind that.
Okay, and the last photo in the corner is Hannah and I working at Tivoli Fest. We got to work the front desk, which was probably one of the first times we had had a chance to hang out together since arriving here. The first week was very hit the ground running, and I feel like that was probably one of the first moments that we kind of just knew that we got along really well, and we kind of matched each other's banter, and ever since then it's been great.
We're in love, if you guys didn't know. Things we've learned.
Your mindset is definitely up to you. I think you can choose whether or not you're going to view things in a positive light, because, in my experience, getting blue all over your back or being, hot and gross and sweaty out in the prairie, if I want to be like, oh, that sucks, I hate this, then I could be like that, but I can also choose my mindset because that's really funny. And yeah. Another thing is that mistakes are just opportunities to learn. Anyone here could probably tell you I probably made the most mistakes, but I also learned the most, and I think that's what really matters.
I think we can both agree with this one. Deb is so cool.
Deb is so cool.
The more you get to know her, the cooler she gets. She's awesome. Sorry, Deb, but we had to shout you out. We feel like you don't get enough recognition, so yeah. Love you, Deb. Besides that, we do love you for real. These were mine. Have fun. Yes, we're here to work, but we live to work. Or we work to live, not live to work. Almost messed that up. So we're here to learn, not to be locked away in a corporate prison. Get up every once in a while, take a walk, talk to your employees, talk to your coworkers, because honestly, at the end of the day, you're gonna remember that versus the work that you did at that time. If you communicate well, problems will be solved faster and more effectively. Hit it at the beginning, and you'll be fine at the end. That's my main thing. Yeah, we just want to thank everybody for coming today, and especially we want to thank Tim and Anna for being really great bosses.
For sure, yeah.
You guys have made this process really amazing. We thank the community, our coworkers, Deb, and most importantly our mentors, like we said, Anna and Tim. We wouldn't be here without you. Thank you guys for picking us. We knew you had a lot of candidates, but this has been an adventure of a lifetime, so
Yeah, thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you for listening.
Yeah.
Now I guess just when we'll take questions. So if anyone has anything, now's your time.
There's a good amount of time left, so if you want to really get the gossip on what's going on at Moda,
Yeah. Bring it
We'll
in.
tell you.
Yeah. If not, okay. If you guys want to come up and talk to us, we'll be here for a little while. But yeah, once again, thank you guys.
Yeah, thank you so much.
All right. Once again, thank you both, Violet and Hannah, for giving the talk today and for everything else. As you saw, we do not believe that interns are the people who go fetch coffee. They are incredibly important and so involved in everything we do. And these two have really gone above and beyond in getting involved and making sure that they're part of every single project that they can get their hands on, and then some. So, thank you both so much. And thank you everyone for attending. Our next Brown Bag Lunch in August our speaker will be Scott Buchanan, who's a local expert on birding. So we'll talk a little bit about the local bird species here in the Prairie, and then do a live demonstration. So if you are watching the recording of this is really one that you do want to try and come on site for, because we are going to have some more demonstration components to it. All right, that does it for us today. So I hope you all have a good rest of your afternoons, and thank you very much.